So yeah, I cleaned my Christmas tree today, and it felt weird because now when I look to the right where my Christmas tree was standing, it's like one big open giant space. It feels empty. You know, it feels empty. It feels like I have the room. Does he have a flashlight? No, 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 I know your face! No, there's somebody! Why is there somebody? I remember what I said last episode. How I would look into doing roughly what, you know, what to do in regards to the length of the map or of the game. And seeing how this probably will either into July. June, July. If I would fully do, you know, if I would fully replay to every level, do the ending, do all the endings and the secret ending of the game, and that sort of stuff, and I would do one video per level, then roughly, I'll end in July, June. But you know what I recently been thinking about? I have said multiple times that like once 1.0 comes out, I will replay through the whole Backrooms game to show you what changed and what doesn't. Was that a good choice? Maybe, but like I'm gonna stick to my word, I think. And there's nothing to do with like that I'm like building a sort of like story throughout these release videos. I think starting in episode 4 or like level 4, I've made like a sort of level 3. I think starting level 3, level 4, I made a sort of like mini story where you know, the viewer tries to escape the Backrooms with me as your guide and that sort of stuff. And that sort of stuff, because I always say, you know, my alternate dress has become the Backrooms dress, and I am like a sort of traveler guide and that sort of stuff. So it doesn't like a sort of mini series. I might paste it together in Discord and that sort of stuff, but so yeah, I will be continuing through every level, which shown in the map in the last time, and that sort of stuff, and I will go for every ending, including the secret ending. There are 4 endings, and if you get all 4 of them, you're combined to the secret ending. So yeah, but if you don't know what this is, welcome to Escape the Backrooms, a horror, liminal, puzzle level game and that sort of stuff. And in our last video, we went through level 7, and eventually we reached level 8, and that's where we gonna continue. And I hope you like caves, and I hope you like dark space, and I hope you like giant insects, because you're gonna see them today. But if you haven't watched the previous episodes, I highly recommend you do, starting from the series Escape the Backrooms 1.0. You can watch your older videos, but do know they are older version of the games and that sort of stuff. They are older version of the games. And such stuff. So do know that. But yeah. I remember that I have to like... I remember that there are like mods on the... Yeah. Just look at this, like... I don't want to be here. Just imagine being in the Backrooms. Coming across these huge mod monsters that kill humans. Because there are entities like in the Backrooms that are considered like these giant mods and that sort of stuff. And I thought the female ones are more protective of their nest than the male ones. And the female ones are usually the ones, you know, territorial. Is this already the section where that guy came? I stood up because I wanted to check my sanity, and I heard that like zzz, I was like, I'm fucked. I have to run. Also I'm gonna tell, like, today I cleaned up my Christmas stuff and that sort of stuff, And I'm not gonna lie. Like, I ordered, like, today, I ordered a new commission for me and Reshi together. And the artist is a friend of us. And we, you know, my current Twitch profile photo and Discord profile photo has been made by her. And we thought of, like, you know, I thought she was gonna do the line art or the color sketch, and I just put it open, and actually I was like at a point, you know, of like, I don't want to clean it up now, because I'm like having a fun time with her. But eventually I started to clean and that sort of stuff, and kept talking with her during the stuff and such. Oh look, there's one over there. So, where's this one then? Is that over there? What was this one then? Over there. Okay. But like, and that sort of stuff. So I cleaned eventually all my Christmas stuff up, because I'm recording this on the 27th of like January. And I normally do that. That is because of my HBO school. There was a time like, there was like Christmas, like on my HBO bachelor degree, we got like Christmas holidays. And then 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that, we like got 2 weeks free to come back to school for a week. And then we're free again, technically. So there was like 1 or 2 weeks of school, and then you were free again for 2 weeks because of like exams. And then you came back for a week, and then you had holidays for a week. So that was always fun and such. And because of that, I always had the tendency to like clean up my Christmas stuff around these time periods, like the end of January. And I'm a Christmas girl, so you know, I wouldn't mind that. I forgot where the part actually ended with like the mods and where that guy spawned. There was a skin stealer part. No, well, there's a mod. And because of that, I usually tend to have a habit of like cleaning. Like I put up my Christmas tree early. I'm not gonna lie. I put my Christmas tree up when November starts. I have the tendency, you know, after Miku forced me a bit into it, but I have a tendency to wait for the end of like past Halloween because of Miku and that sort of stuff. But if it was up to me, my Christmas tree was stand all year. But yeah, social norms and that sort of stuff, huh? And such. So because of like my bachelor degree, I have a habit of like cleaning up my Christmas trees after like near the end of January. I am one that's late with it, I do know, but was like a mod here, I can't remember. Bridge has been here for centuries, I wouldn't put too much stress on it. Yeah, I knew I might not walking across it. Is this like a checkpoint? Feels like a checkpoint. This feels like that checkpoint I was talking about. So yeah, I cleaned my Christmas tree today, and it felt weird because now when I look to the right where my Christmas tree was standing, it's like one big open giant space. It feels empty. You know, it feels empty. It feels like I have the room. Does he have a flashlight? No, 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 I know your face! No, there's somebody! Why there's somebody? Did you saw that? There were like 3 of them. Did you saw that? There were like 3 of them. Yeah, and I feel like I've been productive because, you know, I woke up, did my morning things, did some groceries, and such stuff. And, do they come again from that side? Please don't tell me this is a dead end. And such stuff, and I've been productive today. You know what? No. No. Get away. I don't have any friends. I'm alone here. I'm alone with this traveler. Get me through. No. Get away! I'm sick! Yeah, and I felt productive today by cleaning this up. And such stuff. They were like blocking every way, by the way. What do you want me to do? Why are there like 3 of them? And it was even like one of them was stuck. Hello.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is not the correct. Okay, that's not the play. Since when are there so many of them? Is that new? Is that new? Is that like new? Hold on, I want to see. I will check later. I can't remember really having more than one of them. Huh. And that sort of stuff. But also, like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought in my Discord I do like bigger things of like EGS stories and that sort of stuff. And EGS 32 was about my sexuality as like lesbian with Lizzie. But also a bit about the fact that I always saw into something, you know, doing it with boys. And such. And I shared my first experience, my first sex experience. On the other hand, it felt wrong to do, and odd. But on the other hand, it felt great to do. You ever catch me? Okay, maybe you catch me. Where is the door? Never catch me, juice runs out. Okay, now you might catch me. And yeah, I talked about my first sex experience and how it was with a boy actually, you know, and it like that sort of stuff when I was 16. On the other hand, like, you know, maybe, you know, it's your first experience. Maybe I wasn't really proud of it because it's my first experience. It was with a boy and it was 16. And did he spawn there? Why did he spawn there? That is camping! That's fucking camping! and such stuff. But I shared it in, like with detail in like with a little bit like not too much detail, but with detail in like that EGS story because it is part of my sexuality. It is something that painted me and you know colored me, painted me, and stayed in my head. You know when I had sex with that boy and that sort of stuff.
Excuse me. Hello?
But like it feels great because like like I'm not gonna lie when I was like when I did it with him and I have done it a few times with that guy. Then it never felt right. You know, it never felt right, and I was always like a bit awkward of it. So when people asked if I had sex before, you know, I never said that I did it, or I just said I never did it before. And act like a little bit scared of, you know, oh, I'm gonna have sex and that sort of stuff. And such, but now that I wrote that I had sex at 16, you know, and that is off my chest, it feels great. That actually, like, it doesn't matter really. You know, it does not matter because, like, at least we're all just trying things out when we're like 16 to 18. You know, we're all trying stuff out when we're 16 to 18. Oh, I get further. Don't see. No, no, no! I know the fucking door there. And such stuff. We're all, you know, we're all trying stuff out when we're 16 to 18 or teenagers, in kissing boys, you know, being gay, maybe feeling for things. But I always thought like, even then, even when I had sex with him, you know, where I was more the gay one than he was. I just let's call him as I did in the story. Like let's call. Did I call him Max? I think I called him Max. Yeah, I called him Max in my story. Let's call him Max. And such stuff. Let's just call him Max. Like I felt like in the end that I was more gay than Max, and I'm pretty sure Max loved me. But, you know, that confusion, that conflict is something I never really got a chance to maybe give some room and that sort of stuff. But I always do. I do wonder. Why are they so spawn camping? I do wonder, even if I had sex with Max, you know, with Max 6 times or more, I forgot how much it was. We were like friends with benefits at that point. He clearly liked me, and I think he was in love with me, but he clearly liked me, but I was the one more confused. And that sort of stuff, but like, I still think that my intimate moments with Max and that sort of stuff, maybe like contributed to the fact of like
Excuse me.
can you guys stop fun camping? Like I still think like my sex moments with Max and that sort of stuff has contributed to the fact that like I think I saw myself as a woman in the end in my fantasies and you know, nor pregnant nor not. Because at a point, like as I said, around 19 to 20 years old, I always saw myself as a woman in the relationships, in fantasies, let it be like in poly relationships. No, don't come fucking here. Like, you know, let alone be in poly relationships. I was always in a lesbian relationship 90% of the times. But there were sometimes some relationships with a guy. But I was always the woman. you know, pregnant or not. And that led to me, you know, trying out stuff like bras, trying stuff out to look pregnant before I became pregnant myself. Can I outrun him? They're spawn camping literally me. I was supposed to get past it after like both of them come at the same time. But yeah, I still think, like I said, that my like sex moment with Max contributed to that. And yeah, I was always like a bit ashamed of it, being gay and that sort of stuff. But looking back on it now, it makes more sense. You know, the moments I did it with him has painted me, and it always stayed with me, because even then, as I said, even when I was like fantasizing about being a woman, about being pregnant and that sort of stuff back in the day, it was always even in a lesbian relationship or as a woman, but it could also be like in a straight relationship, but just like made up guys. And I don't know, I just always, like now that I think about it, I cuddled with Max a lot, and I always liked the cuddles. And now that I think about it, a lot of my, you know, made up relationships, in sense of like, you know, my made up relationships in my mind, the fantasies, were 9 out of 10 times cuddle moments. And such stuff. Don't see me, don't see. You always see me, no matter where I am. Wait, can you come in here even? The thing always sees me. Can you fuck off?
Hello?
Yeah, fuck off. I'm having here an intimate moment, a story, you know, about how my first time painted me as a boy. And such stuff. And you're here, keep ruining it by like interrupting me, jumping me.
Excuse me?
But yeah, like my sex with Max, I think has painted me. And now that it's off my chest, I feel way better saying that I had sex at 16 and that sort of stuff, even if it was just like giving blowjobs to the other. And it is that stuff like that, you know, that make me wonder if I went into a relationship with Max and that sort of stuff, would have been different nowadays. Same goes with like that girl that I've been talking about in my transgender story. Of like, you know, if I like would have been in a relationship with her, like if I would to say been in a relationship with her, would have things been different? I'm gonna run for it. The door made it, finally! So yeah, like I shared my first experience, you know, my first sex moment, and even like as short as I said, even while feeling ashamed of it, it felt good to share. Knowing that like technically I'm gay even now, with Rashi, because we're both a trans girl and that sort of stuff. You know, we're both a trans girl, so technically we're gay. And even then, you know, I sucked a guy off and I sucked a dick. Even then, not even now I still do it, because Rashi also has to go still under hormone treatment, like I do. I didn't expect this video to turn 25 minutes. Back to level 0. Here we go. Yeah, this is it where no clipping starts, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. And that sort of stuff. Because with 25 minutes, like a short big video of like me exploring how Christmas Day was today or my Christmas thing. It still feels odd. You know the moment when you remove decorations? Yeah, it feels bigger. Yeah, I don't know. There feels like there's something missing here today, actually. Feels like. And it feels like I have space. Yeah, and I shared my first sex moment, or like a short talk, not with Doom Digital. I've done it in my Discord. If you're interested, by the way, if you're interested in more of the EGS talks, more in depth than they currently are, at least for like the more recent one, then make sure to join my Discord. It's like in there. And if you want to join my Discord, link is in the link tree at the bottom of the video description. If you want to support me, like and subscribe. It's the best way to support this Pego Vtuber and that sort of stuff. It shows me that you like the video and shows the algorithm that you like the video, which helps it spread across the algorithm and that sort of stuff. And if you like Escape the Backrooms, I'm planning to do the whole game as I said from 1.0 and onwards and that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell, because I'm pre-release your pregnant Vtuber transcript on the internet, your pregnant goddess of reproduction, your pregnant goddess of fertility. I primarily focus on Project Diva and horror content, so if you like that, make sure to check it out. It will be in the icon in the top right, will be a few more, and otherwise check my channel out in the description down below. I also do a lot of Let's Plays, including Call of Duty Veteran Campaign series, Binding of Isaac, We Happy Few blueprints, and way more. So if you're interested in that, make also sure to check my channel out. There's something for everybody, I am sure of it, and that's the reason I have so many videos. Also, if you want to support me a little bit more, there is a Ko-fi and Patreon in that same link tree at the bottom of the video description, and this link tree can also be found in my channel description, basically. But also, in that link tree you can find my Twitter, Instagram and Blue Sky in case you don't use Discord and want to stay up to date. My Twitch channel and my VOD channel are there in case you want to support me a little bit, or in case you want to see how stream goes from time to time. Because I do record some videos from time to time, like the Undertale 2 Pacifist series, for an example, and that sort of stuff. Or some of the Pokemon Shining Pearl monologue that I did. But there's also, yeah, that's actually my Discord, my YouTube, Twitch. It's for me handy because I have one place to maintain all my socials. For you handy, there's one place to find for all my official socials and that sort of stuff. So yeah, but best place to stay up to date is Discord. I'm the most active there, I talk the most there. And yeah, the practice trends go and that sort of stuff. And in this case, if you want the EGS more in depth in EGS stories, like a more detailed version of like my moment with Max or my first moment with Max, then yeah, that's over there also. But there's also on the more deep still up to episode 32. And that sort of stuff. So yeah, with that I'm gonna say have a wonderful night. Rest well, Wanderer, because this next time we're back at level 1, 0. And that sort of stuff. The one that you see in the background. And we're gonna no-clip. I'm gonna teach you how to no-clip so that you can escape the Backrooms. But yeah, until then, have a wonderful night, have a wonderful week. I might see you in the next video. Bye!